In this video, I'm going to explain what a ferrocerium or a ferro-rod is, and I'm going to show you how it differs from a flint and steel, and I'm going to give you examples of both. Let's get started.
In 1903, ferrocerium alloy was invented by the Austrian chemist Karl Auer. Ferrocerium gets its name from its two primary components, which are iron and the rare earth element cerium. Ferrocerium is a synthetic pyrophoric alloy, which is blended with cerium, iron, and magnesium. A pyrophoric material is any material that is liable to ignite spontaneously on exposure to the oxygen in the air.
When you strike your ferro rod with a 90-degree spine on a knife, essentially you're scraping off fragments from the rod. This process exposes the fragments to the oxygen in the air and ignites the pieces by friction heat. So when striking the ferro rod with a harder material such as a carbon steel knife, it produces sparks that can reach over 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ferrocerium produces hot sparks when rapidly oxidized by the process of striking the rod. This ease of flammability gives ferrocerium many commercial applications. It can be found in cigarette lighters, strikers for gas welding, and cutting torches. Due to ferrocerium's ability to ignite in adverse conditions, ferro rods are commonly used as an emergency fire-making device in survival kits and widely carried by bushcraft hobbyists.
Throughout history, flint and iron pyrite, commonly known as fool's gold, has been used to create sparks for fire lighting. With the development of iron, the fire steel eventually replaced pyrites. The metal striker, which is usually formed in a D shape to be looped around 2 or 3 fingers, paired with a sharp edge of flint, quartz, or chert. When struck, this combination creates hot sparks.
Now, when you pair your flint and steel with char cloth, you can very quickly and efficiently catch an ember onto your char cloth, which can then be transferred to your fire tinder and then blown into flames.
You want to take your stone with a sharp edge and hold it at a 45-degree angle to your striker. You want to roll your striker like this, kind of like that. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get metal shavings off of this striker. When rapidly hit, it will oxidize by striking the stone. Hot sparks then ignite the char cloth.
Since the early 1900s, survivalists and bushcrafters have been using ferro rods because of their ease of use, convenience, and reliability. Ferro rods come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, from 1-inch diameter rods all the way down to 1/32 of an inch or smaller in your modern cigarette lighters. Survival kits now include them on survival bracelets, necklaces, and keychains. With the ability to start thousands of fires and low cost affordability, the ferro rod has taken its place as the primitive fire starting device of choice.
Now, ferro rods can ignite a very diverse group of fire tenders. The 5,000 degree sparks can make quick work of any dry flammable material, from dry grass to pine needles to wood shavings, if it is processed correctly. Now, striking your ferro rod is not complicated. It requires holding the rod stationary while you use the spine of your knife to scrape the material from the rod. Many ferro rods come with a striker tied to it on the rod with either a leather strap or a paracord. And I have found that you have to use the included striker differently from a knife. To use the included striker, you want to place the tinder where you want it to ignite, usually on a solid surface. Firmly place your rod on the edge of the tinder and scrape the rod a few times back and forth until your tinder ignites. Now, I use my knife to strike the ferro rod in 2 different ways. I hold the stationary knife upside down while I scrape material off of the rod into the tinder, just like that. And the other way is I hold the knife stationary with a 90-degree spine facing up while I pull the rod, and it pulls and removes the material off of the ferrocerium. Either way takes a little practice to be proficient. You want to hold your knife upside down and you want to pull your ferro rod back. You want to deposit all the sparks into your tinder bundle, and that 5,000 degree sparks is going to ignite this grass. It doesn't always happen to where you light it on the first strike. So if it doesn't, just go ahead and repeat the process. Practice makes perfect. We're going to do this again with the spine of the knife facing up. we're going to pull the ferro rod backwards, depositing the sparks inside the tender bundle. It does not catch on fire on the first time every time. And if it doesn't, just keep practicing. There you go. Like I said before, practice makes perfect. If you start to notice that your ferro rod is developing ridges or bumps where you've scraped it previously, this is caused by not applying steady pressure down the length of your rod while striking it. These bumps are easily corrected by scraping them off until it's smooth again. Remember, practice makes perfect. If your tender did not ignite on the first strike, it's okay, just simply try again. Practice makes perfect. Practice with different kinds of tenders till you find out which one ignites faster. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, follow, and share. Leave me a comment with a fire emoji. That way I can know who made it all the way through the video. I'll see you next time. God bless you.